hear that music, it can only mean one thing. Face Heel Podcast number 2. Thanks for joining us. I'm the Prez, raining out of Phoenix, Arizona. We got a 4-man pod. Very excited about this. We'll start with the people you know. DC, hailing from Boston, Massachusetts.
Faces and heels. I'm here.
Joining us for the first time, the Slickster out of Somerville, Massachusetts.
Finally finished that bacon sandwich that Prez mentioned in episode 1. Had to fight Kevin Owens' big old belly out of the way, but we got that bacon sandwich down and we're ready to go.
Yeah, it took you 3 weeks to eat that bacon sandwich. And our host, our fearless leader, the guy that keeps us in check, Casey Dowd out of Providence, Rhode Island. Mr. Dowd, take it away.
Thank you, Prez. Running wild here from Providence,
Prez,
as
I
always.
must say, that was a great intro.
Hey, after doing it for the last 5 minutes, we finally got it right.
You're a regular Howard Finkel there, Prez.
We're going to do it live.
And we did, and we are doing it live. So we're going to start right off pretty much where we left off from podcast number 1, talking about the ratings disaster that is WWE television. 7 weeks in a row, down. We're below 3 million viewers on the USA Network for Raw. Gentlemen, Prez, I don't think anything improved this Monday, did it?
I mean, listen, I watched it. There were some good things. There were some bad things, but until Paul, I said it last week, until Paul and Vince finally start listening to the people, things are going to continue to get worse and worse and worse. This is the 7th week in a row where less than 3 million viewers have tuned in for Raw. And I'll be honest with you, the lowest new low for 2017 was this last Monday. Pathetic.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure, obviously we've seen a decline week by week, I believe, correct?
Week by week, it's been declining. This last Monday was the new low. I mean, we're 6 months in, right? We're off of a fresh pay-per-view. You got the Money in the Bank coming up, and they still can't draw.
Well, play devil's advocate. You had the NBA Finals on, obviously. That's gonna be a huge, that's gonna take people away. But the week over week is definitely concerning for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I just wonder, business-wise, to what degree it really actually matters. And I know you guys touched on this in the first episode, but who's concerned with the ratings? Is it USA Network? Is it WWE? Is it neither? Are they just are the wheelbarrows flying through the doors with cash in them? I don't understand. Does anyone have any insight on that?
I mean, they're going to say that they don't care because of, they'll say people are consuming it other ways, and obviously their money's up and they're making more money than they ever have before. But it's got to definitely be alarming that the ratings are as low as they've been, for sure. I don't see why.
When we were watching, I told you, we all tuned in to the first hour. It sounds like somebody's, what is that noise? It sounds like somebody's change in their pocket.
Someone's got a roll of dimes.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, someone's got a Kit Kat bar or something
Jesus.
Oh, it stopped. Someone must have got a...
And if Kit Kat wants a little more ad time or whatever in the pod, we're open for business, by the way. I want to throw that in there. We are open for biz.
But what I was going to say is that the first hour drew 2.7 million. The second hour, 2.5. The final hour, 2.3. The final hour, that's when you're supposed to build up, right? That's the money shot.
They built this week's episode, I think, the exact opposite because of the NBA Finals. They marched out, their best segment was segment 1, with Brock and Joe, and I think they did that on purpose, based upon them figuring that people were going to probably tune out. Is my guess.
We talked about this real time. The segment was awful. we haven't. I forgot that the title belt was red, for Christ's sake. Like, I haven't seen Brock since April, and then you trot him out. The poor guy's standing there, like the cam's running up to him, and you hear him make the bang noise, and nothing happens. There's no pyro. You got your champ, like, who we haven't seen in months, like the Bayou Dome or whatever is going wild for the guy, and unbelievable. Terrible production.
The funny thing is, they said we're coming to you live from the Cajun Dome, and I had no fucking clue where that was until Brock came out and his T-shirt said like Lafayette, Louisiana, or something on it.
Oh yeah, they're always hawking the merch.
Yeah, like
merch hawking in our.
But with the pyro, like I said tonight on SmackDown, they didn't use pyro either. So I don't know if that has something to do with, like, I don't know. It wasn't a Raw thing, but it didn't pop for Styles when he came out tonight either. So.
Was there any pyro at all?
I just thought the whole thing made Brock look sort of like weak. It was not an emphatic return. Like, to me, I would have booked Brock like taking down Joe and basically, the entire roster having to hold down Brock. It didn't make any sense that it was like Joe had the upper hand all of a sudden. Like, the guy's been knocking guys out for weeks, sure, but I don't know. It didn't make sense to me.
Prez, to answer your question about the pyro, I wasn't, I was kind of off and on tonight with SmackDown, but I didn't notice it at all tonight. And I know for a fact when AJ came out, when it usually goes off, it didn't go off, and it was weird. It was weird to see it.
So it's probably the arena.
Yeah, I think the arena's charging way too much to get the music out to feel the glow, I think. It's like $20,000 to shut those lights off. No more pyro budget.
I'm gonna say,
you gotta feel the glow, folks.
This is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna almost take the opposite of Slick right here. I think the wrestlers coming out is stupid. Like, we've seen that's like ridiculous. Like, it doesn't make any sense. You have like people who supposedly are in feuds, like helping each other hold these guys apart. That's ridiculous. But I've loved the Brock Joe build so far. And when Joe won that match to become the number one contender, I was like, I was like disappointed. He was like the last guy I thought I wanted to see, but I think that I'm more excited for this feud with Brock than I think I have been since he came back to WWE.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're going to build it great. I think Heyman's mouthpiece is good. I think they're doing exactly what they need to do to build a good match. I'm a fan. I like it. It's what needs to be done.
I just want them to use the whole show.
Go ahead,
to have that be an opening segment and then nothing really happens after that. Like, I want that to carry through, the full show. Like, I want there to be an altercation backstage, It just feels like a waste to me.
Well, they interviewed Joe later on, like probably in hour 3, where he kind of followed up to that.
Oh yeah, I was out of there.
You were out of there. By then.
As soon as those tape guys come out to tape up the purple ropes, I am out of there on Raw.
Yeah. I will say one thing. It's we'll move on in a sec, but it's, for whatever reason, it's like I'm believing that, like, in real life, Joe's as tough as Brock. Whether that's true or not, he's the only opponent that I've, since Brock has been back, for 3 years, whatever it's been, where I feel like it's like, I think this guy could hold his own, like, in an actual fight against him. So I've loved the build so far, and I love it. Can't complain.
Yeah, I agree.
I guess we'll have to just wait and see. Fun fact, of course, every time you come to the Faces and Heels podcast, you're going to learn something new. Samoa Joe, the only Samoan wrestler not related to Dwayne. Now you know. Moving on. Slick, I think you had an astute observation about two of the wrestlers in the opening wrestling match, their attire, if you will. Would you care to elaborate?
Yeah, like, this has been bothering me for a while, but you got, I love Samson. Like, DC, you'll jump on this. I think Samson has amazing, like, in-ring persona. Like, I think he's over. I loved him in NXT. I love the heat he got. But how many guys are going to be out there in $300 jeans? Like, you have an opening match where two guys are out there in denim. I mean, they're going to tear the canvas up.
Just look, it's tacky. It's tacky. I hate Ambrose. I really do. I saw him in the airport. I just dislike him. I dislike him as a character. I dislike him as a person. I dislike him as a superstar. I think he's terrible. I think he's awful on the mic. I think he's lazy in the ring. I don't know.
And there's been some talk about that. Like, you know, the sheets have been on that. And I mean, we're not insiders. Like, we know a little bit of the inside workings of the product. But, like, I don't know. Is he being wasted? Do you think that's on creative? Or do you think he just sort of, you know, he gets his merch check and that's it?
No, it's him. And just like,
you can
Austin
pinpoint
said,
it, though. You can pinpoint to the Austin podcast.
Yeah.
Where he was shitting on the fact that he wasn't able to get more out of Brock at WrestleMania, which I agree with. But you can pretty much pinpoint that point in time. Since then, it's been lackadaisical.
Dude, that's exactly what I was going to say.
I hate Ambrose's character right now. I think it's awful. It's over with the crowd in most cities. It was last night or whatever, Monday night. I hate it, but I'm not as down on him as Prez. I think that he could be a good character. I just think he needs to be packaged up as a heel, and you know, he's got to lose like the whole like lunatic fringe, you know, making all those funny faces and just like
it's lame.
It's also lame. Weird though, because they're just setting up another IC car crash match. Yeah. Like, how many times is that title going to be tossed around? Like that used to mean something. That bothers me as somebody who's watched for a while. Like, that belt is just an ornament. Like, it makes no sense that you're just, you know, rotating guys through holding that belt.
I will say, no, go ahead.
Go ahead, DC. Go ahead.
Just you know, to get off Ambrose for a second, I think we all agree that his character sucks right now. We're not like feeling it, but you know, to piggyback on Slick, Elias Sampson, give me some stock in that guy. I love what I'm seeing with him. The guy can talk. He can cut a promo. He's jacked out of his mind. He's got a look, you know, he's got like the soaked lettuce. I mean, tell me right now what how is Baron Corbin any better than this guy? Name one thing Baron Corbin does better than this guy, and you know, they're pushing Baron Corbin to the moon right now.
Size, it's all size. Like,
but he's not size though. Corbin's taller. He's not. He's taller, but Samson, he reminds me almost like of a young Paul, you know, when Paul broke in, like body, you know, physique-wise.
Maybe a little bit. I think they're like sort of like typecasting guys like that. Like, you know, how many guys with beards and long hair can you have on the roster? But,
right,
but I'm with you. I'm buying heavy on Samson. I think he's got legs. Like, he gets real heat. Like, he gets true heat. Very quickly. It's unique. It's different. I dig it. I'm all over it.
He's the guy. I think he could be a stud. I loved it in the promo. You know, he told the crowd, you know, please hold your cell phones down. You know, during my song, of course, the entire arena puts their cell phones up. Of course, you know, like, he knows how to play into the crowd. I'm afraid that he's going to be booked the wrong way. Like, I don't see why he's like in this Ambrose feud right now. I think I think they should have built him up kind of just like in, you know, squash matches, you know, before throwing him in the ring with like an Ambrose. You know, not necessarily like a jobber, but maybe, you know, I don't know, vignettes and like just, you know, going against guys that he's expected to be, you know, as an up and coming guy. Like, maybe do that for a couple of months before, you know, putting him in like an Ambrose type of storyline, but. We'll see where it goes. I think he has a lot of potential, but I think a lot of people have a lot of potential that don't really get a chance, so we'll see.
That we will. One guy who has been given a chance, or maybe not the best of chances, or maybe he has been given all the chances and blown it. Mr. Bray Wyatt has quite the exciting past few months. Went into Mania as a WWE champion, did all the gimmicks in the world, was not able to defeat Randy Orton. Since then, he's lost a couple of matches, but he's still doing his creepy promos, looking right into the camera. Both personally and professionally, he's had quite the interesting past few months. Gentlemen, you had a comment.
Where do we start? First off, I'll talk about his character first, right? So we've seen Bray Wyatt do the same thing over and over and over again. It's the same lantern. It's the same theme music. It's the same people holding their lights up in the sky. It's the same dark, weird promo. I get it, right? He's good on the mic. I understand it. Personally, I'm just sick of it. It's just I don't know. I just tune out. It's the same promo, but to somebody else. It's I don't know. It's played out. I'm not a big fan of here's the thing. Here's the thing that annoys me. The guy's got so much talent. He can talk. He's good on the mic, but I just feel like creative is just mowing him over.
He's really good in the ring. He's good in the ring too for a big guy.
He's a good big guy. He's fast too.
Yeah, he's really fast.
He's wicked fast, and you don't see a lot of big guys that move like him. So I just think that Vince is screwing with the character. It's the same thing over and over and over again because it worked for so long, but they're not evolving it. That's my thing. Evolve the character. Don't let it get stale. And maybe we can continue. But to continue on Bray, I'm not high on Bray Wyatt because it came out that he's been all up in JoJo's cakes. This is a married man. I don't know. Am I right, gentlemen? I think I read this online that Bray Wyatt is slaying and banging JoJo, the ring announcer. The guy's got a kid and wife at home.
All I can say is that those are the reports on the so-called internet. But they did arrive at Raw together.
Yeah, I saw that. Did you guys see that?
I did see it, yes.
I heard it via your reporting, Prez, but I don't know. You're the TMZ of wrestling here, so I guess if you say it, it's true. But for me, I like to keep it in the ring. You know me. I'm a face at heart. I don't know.
That's his gimmick.
But I don't know.
If Slick could run for office, he would.
I'd be an independent for sure, though. I want to have it both ways. But here's the thing with Bray. As long as those idiots keep putting their camera lights in the air, you're going to get the same old Bray. You know that. If you can get 30,000 people to do one thing, they're not going to change anything in the back.
Well,
you think they're gonna do anything different? That's it's never gonna happen. Randy Orton's been doing that same stupid pose for 16 years in the corner. I know it drives DP wild. He used to do that pose, and then he got tired of it. And Orton's doing it for 16 years, so I don't think it's gonna change anytime soon. Bray still draws people pay attention when he comes to the ring. He blows out his LED lantern. I don't know why you need to do that. But no, I don't know. I don't know anything about his personal life. I'm staying out of his business.
Personally, I don't
want him knocking on my door.
Personally, I liked Bray in the white pants and the Hawaiian shirt better. I don't know.
I was looking at that. I had that gimmick. It's in the bottom drawer of my bureau, and now I'm like, I don't have any Slayer patches and a denim vest. He wears
a chef's apron when he comes out.
The guy's coming out, and he looks like he just prepped the dinner for 300 people or something.
The guy hasn't washed his hair in 5 years. He's got these dreadlocks that look like old decrepit. I don't know, worms coming out of his head.
I can tell you one thing. That guy was at home in the Cajun Dome, though, right?
But can I say something? What an upset! I mean, this guy, he's out of shape. I mean, let's be honest here. The guy's out of shape. You take the gimmick away from him, right? You take WWE away from the guy, and his name is Rotunda, right? So what a win for this guy. JoJo, I mean, she's maybe an 8.5 on the Richter scale. And she is just, I mean, Bray Wyatt has got to be lifting his belly and just slamming that in hotel rooms with sweat coming off of him. What a win. What an upset. That's a bigger upset than, let's see, what's the biggest upset? A Sasha Banks and that one dude. that looks like, he's like 15 and out of, Asia somewhere. I mean, what an upset.
Handsome Rusev's a pretty big upset too.
Rusev Bull banging Lana. That's another.
That's a pretty big fucking upset.
Dude, unbelievable. Like,
there's only one way to sum it up, and our buddy Sting, who will call in soon, will put it as I guess succinct as possible. That is out punting your coverage, folks.
I will say one thing.
Hold on, Dave.
Prez, you're wrong about one thing. You called JoJo an 8.5. Those cakes bring her up to a 9 for sure.
I mean, what a dumper on her. I mean, I got to be honest, but I'll tell you what, and this has got to be it. I've come to one conclusion on all of these upsets. Do you guys want to hear my conclusion? They're
hung like a rhino.
These guys are probably hung like a 900-pound rhinoceros. They're probably wrapping it around their thigh and tied it in a bow in his pants, like Virgil used to do back in the day. I can't think of anything else. I mean, especially with Rusev with Lana. I don't know. I mean, Dowd?
That's right, folks. The Faces and Heels podcast, where nothing is off limits and nobody's personal life will not be discussed.
Hey, one more point before we get off Bray. The number one reason why he's stale and why you can't stand him, Prez, is he fucking never wins. The guy always talks all this shit and then he always loses. I can't remember him winning a big match.
Yeah, I love Bray taking the tan.
He takes the tan in every single big match he has.
Oh man, like the sun rising, man. Bray is taking that 1, 2, 3, staring up at the lights every single night.
Every night. So you can't take him seriously, Like he never wins. He's like no threat to ever do anything.
It's creative, Dave. It's not going to change. It's not going to change. It's ridiculous.
Well, I tell you what can't change. What will change is the topic here. Let's just talk real quick about the upcoming pay-per-view, Money in the Bank. Just some quick predictions. Looks like we got Jinder Mahal, of course, your WWE champion, with the Singh brothers. How could we forget? Versus everybody's favorite poser, Randy Orton.
I am all about the modern day Maharaja. I'm all about that guy. I am all about him. He's come onto the scene and he has just grasped this like the light, like he's embraced the heel character, and then he's gonna job out to Randy Orton. Like that's as simple as it is, folks.
I'm gonna disagree with you. This guy's
come on. They're talking about Cowboy Bob's gonna be there. No way in hell. That's like going to a pay-per-view and seeing John Cena's dad in the front row. You know what's going to happen.
No, that's what you think is going to happen. I'll tell you what, that is what's going to continue to build the modern day Maharaja. He is going to take down.
You got to roll the R.
He's gonna destroy Orton in his hometown. He's going to do it in front of his old man, and he's going to walk away with the gold. What a fucking heel. I love it. And if creative screws this up, if Vince screws this up and has Orton go over, it's a modern day travesty. I will tell you that right now.
He's not going to go over. I mean, if history showed us either, if history,
he's going over.
No, he's not going over.
I don't think he is. Yeah,
I'll tell you what. He's fucking going over. No. He's fucking going over. Let's put a merch bet up.
Wait. Who you think Orton's going over?
No, the modern day Maharaja is going over on Orton.
And who do you think, Slick? You think Orton?
I think Orton is going over.
I think the Maharaja is going over.
You do? See, I just don't have faith in the product.
Because the home, they never win at home. That's the trap. Huh? We were with, what was it? Where we saw Sasha Banks lose at home, at the Garden. They never win in their hometown.
I don't know. I don't know if I feel comfortable going to the merch bet yet.
And
let me feel out the week.
I think the Maharaja wins.
You have to. You have to push the heel. I mean, what a great... Well, that would be a great storyline.
Yeah, and he's got merch now. I know you talked about it in episode 1. Like, the champ doesn't have a T-shirt for sale in Shop Zone. Like, what's going on here? Now the T-shirt's ugly as hell, but at least he's got merch, and I do think it makes sense for him to go over. I don't have faith in the product. I don't have faith in creative to do the right thing.
Here's what could happen. That the sheets are reporting, or actually, I think our buddy Cease might have reported this. He's our best source, but I believe Cease reported that the Maharaja was going to win, only to drop it to none other than Mr. John Cena in a week or two.
I swear to God.
Oh, that's it.
That would be like worse than him losing to Orton at the pay-per-view.
Big time. Big time, for sure.
If they pull that shit on the product,
like he's gonna come back the 4th of July and fucking
yeah, he's gonna beat him on an aircraft carrier with fucking like fireworks and shit or something. Well, you know how that will go. I hope that that's not the case, but
here it is.
I don't even know what Cena was up to when he got out of there.
It's June 13th right now. Don't be surprised if in less than a month we're sitting here and the Maharaja dropped it to Cena.
Yeah, well, you heard it here, folks. Please.
I hope I'm wrong.
First.
No,
but Cena's reporting it, so
they even have Cena listed as a free agent. So I don't know. I don't think they know what the fuck to do with him at this point. I don't know how long he's coming back for. I don't know what he's doing. I know he's got a show on Fox where he looks like a drill instructor, looking like a tool. I don't think Vince knows what really to do with him or what show to put him on. But I'll tell you what. If creative has any brains, Vince and Paul, which I know that they don't have any brains lately, but what they should do is he should go clean over Orton, right in front of his old man, maybe punch his old man out. I mean, how great would that be? And then have Cena come in and then strike up something with Cena, and the Maharaja should go over Cena. That's how it should be booked. They should make Jinder Mahal a monster and a monster heel. Because if you start shitting on the Maharaja, they're going to do exactly what they did to who? Remember when they brought in Kevin Owens? Remember how the creative completely shit on him? When he came in, he went over on Cena, and then what had happened? They had him looking up at the lights every week. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I think should happen.
All right, well, it sounds like we are 2-1. The modern-day Maharaja over Randy Orton.
Guys, gold.
Let's move it along a little bit here. The Usos, Jay and Jimmy, in case you were wondering, champions, versus the New Day. You know who those guys are.
I can't believe these two teams are getting faces and heels ring time. You know what I mean? Like we're actually giving them like TV time. Like, get them out of here.
Full disclosure, I didn't even know until Dow just said that the Usos were the champs. I had no clue whatsoever. I'd put the straps on the fashion police.
That's stupid too.
I love those guys. I love it. I love the gimmick.
That's like, I was watching SmackDown tonight, and I cannot stand the New Day. I was thinking to myself, I actually think the Fashion Police are more entertaining than the New Day at this point.
Oh, they're way more entertaining. You guys,
I mean, like the New Day, they are so. They may be the stalest act in the biz right now.
But they again. It's like I wonder, like, are the new ratings just merch? Like, is what's going on around the arena, like what they're selling, is that what really is driving the business?
It's like it's Vince.
It's definitely not ratings.
It's Vince. The New Day was Vince's creation. That's it. Vince loves it. He has a boner when he sees him come out to the ring. He loves every single second of it. It's definitely selling merch. You know, those three guys that they put together were the longest reigning tag team champs in WWE history, and they don't want to shit on it just quite yet. And they're going to continue to do it and stuff it down our throat with the pink and pink and blue ring gear that insults our intelligence. I'm over it, quite frankly.
And I'm over it too. Naomi, the current champion, versus the ravishing whatever she is, because she's from Florida originally, but she's kind of Russian too. Nobody really knows. Lana.
Those horns, I'm telling you. And I know we talked about it pre-show. Prez heard those horns hit tonight at the gym. And DC and I had told him 2 weeks ago, like, her music, when that hits, you are going to pop like a maniac. And that
Dowd,
music just takes it over.
Dowd, can you play music on this at all? Like if you were to play like a, like a music, can you play it on this thing? On our pod?
We can make that happen. Yeah,
Yeah.
what exactly are you looking for?
Do Lana's theme.
The new
Lana's
music
theme.
though.
Oh.
It can
Yeah.
exist.
Yeah.
We'll have to save that until
They
the
need
next
to get
the next edition.
Let me tell you something. I fucking loved it. I heard it. These guys were talking about it the other day, and Slick, the Slickster likes the little things that surprise me sometimes. So a lot of times it just goes right over my head. But I heard these horns pop while I was on the elliptical tonight, and let me tell you something. I loved every single second of it. I'm sitting there smiling. I'm beating. My leg is moving. What a heel! Yes.
It's fantastic music. They've been playing that in her vignettes for like the last 2 months.
I think that match is to me like right now the most compelling match on that entire card.
Yeah, I would go over.
Like I'm really interested. Well, I guess it's the two matches. Like you've got Lana and Naomi, right? So you could have the championship change hands, presumably before Miss Money in the Bank, and then, as it's been reported, you could have Lana defend, or obviously Naomi defend again that same night. I think that's the most compelling storyline of Money in the Bank.
I think there's a chance she can go over. I don't know. I don't see why they put her in this match otherwise. You know what I mean? Like, other than, like, for what? Like, they're building her up. They've had all these vignettes. Like, why would they stick her in this match if she wasn't going to go over?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's weird. You guys do know that she hasn't had one singles match ever
No, yeah.
in the WWE. And
I know, but that's why I know.
She's got her degree from Full Sail. She's been down at the Performance Institute or Center or whatever. Paul's got Levesque has the cameras on her 24/7. She's making good progress. I think it needs something. I think they need somebody different. Like, how many times are we going to see 6 women tag matches? Like, they can all hold their own in the ring. Like, I want to see some one-on-one angles.
She's probably the most entertaining woman on the SmackDown side right now. So
she can talk.
Even
Nobody
if
else
she can't
can talk.
wrestle that well, like she gets a better reaction than the champ does right now. So why not put it on her?
Oh, 100%.
but-
I'd love to see her put, like, Hogsworth through a table. I'd love it. I'd pop so hard for that. I'd buy her merch in a second. I'd be on Shop Zone that moment.
Yeah, but you don't put the championship on her. I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, I'm all about, like, a great storyline, but to put the championship on Lana, I don't know, guys.
I think it could happen. If they don't put it on her, I think that she's gonna like be very impressive to you. I think she's gonna be better than you think.
Holy shit!
You see, why are you yelling at us?
Yeah, that was
man?
unbelievable.
Jeez.
Oh, I didn't do anything different. I'm sorry.
This guy's coming through the speakers at us. Jeez, we're sorry, man.
I think all of our listeners just blew their speakers in their cars.
Yeah.
Is it still loud?
No, you're good to go, man. Well, I heard Hogsworth in there. So speaking of James Ellsworth, real quickly, the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, the first ever in history. Get your cameras rolling. It's going to be mind-blowing. Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Natalya, Tamina, Carmella with Hogsworth. Who you got real quick, Prez? Who you got?
Well, hold on, Dowd. I want to know what you got. I mean, you've been asking a lot about us. I mean, are you a big fan of the Hog?
Oh, this is about me now? Of course I'm a fan of the Hog. You kidding me?
Why don't
Since
you,
day one.
Day one. Why don't you explain to our listeners, because I'm sure in episode 1 we were talking about it, and then when I was listening to it back, and I'm like, I bet nobody knows what the fuck Hogsworth is. So,
Well, that's
Dowd,
Mr.
We'll throw it to you on this one, bud.
Sure. All I can say is that's Mr. James Ellsworth. And I think our listeners can use their imagination as to why we call him Hogsworth. I mean, look at the guy.
Well, do you guys
Got
want
to
me
be
to?
packing something.
I'll tell the listeners what's going on. So
By all means.
it's been reported. Okay, it's been reported that James Ellsworth has a thermos in his pants. I mean, like a big hog in his underwear, and he's got to wear like two what do you call those tighties? What do you call them, DC?
They're undies.
The undies.
Undies. He's got to wear like 3 sets of undies to cover his hog. So that we don't call him Ellsworth. That's a slap in the face to that guy. As far as I'm concerned, it's Hogsworth. You know, when you got to cover your hog with 3 undies, you're a winner in more ways than one.
Oh my lord.
Faces and Heels podcast, everybody. Faces and Heels podcast with Hogsworth.
I mean, I've never been called Hogsworth before. I'm like, I mean, I don't know.
So
Don't be so lucky.
You're a one pair of undies kind of guy.
I'm hung like an infant.
All right, I am gonna take Carmella in this match.
God.
I think they want the quick cash in. I don't know. I guess I got to take Carmella. I think DC mentioned Natalia.
Well,
I think that makes sense. I think she's the only one who hasn't had the title yet.
Well, I think Natalia, if I was booking, I would go with Carmella or Charlotte. But I think they'll
Charlotte has been. Can we talk about Charlotte for a little bit? Just how, like, what is going on? Like, she was at the top. Like, she was up there. Like, she was the top women's wrestler in the biz, and I think the brand split has been brutal on her, on the character, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I wrong there? Like, I just feel like she's sort of like going through the motions, sort of stale. Like, I expect the same old Flair match, like flipping over the corner, begging in the corner, doing her dad's moves. Like, I don't know. I think she's been and again, like, I think we'll get into the brand split more later, but I think it's affected her more than most, at least in the women's division.
I think she doesn't know how to. I mean, she's like a kind of a face right now, but not a full blown face. I just don't think she knows how to play the character right now.
Yeah, it's definitely not natural. Like, you can read it, like, as an educated fan, you see it, and I think even as a casual fan, like, the reaction's been lukewarm. I hope that they figure that out soon, because I think she's in her prime. Like, she draws cash.
Well,
like,
I think
I to go see.
I think it's one of the reasons I would give her the thing. Maybe it'll get her back on track again if she's carrying around that briefcase. And then obviously Carmella, I've said this last week, it'd be hysterical just to see Hogsworth carrying that thing around for the next however long.
I just think the whole women's division in general is challenging, because
there's not enough talent, right?
No, it's not. Well, it's just creative. I think creative is just ruining everything. I think the brand split is ruining things. Even, aside from like the Money in the Bank. So you're talking about the women's division, right? So I'm watching Raw. You got Mickie James coming out to the same goddamn music that she had in 1999, which insults my intelligence.
And can I say, like, she's in fucking Tatanka's outfit?
Yeah, it's not good.
No,
like, change the music. Like,
Prez.
I think when I first heard that music, I was in my fucking 20s, like my early 20s, and maybe that's gonna age me, but fuck off. I don't like it. I don't like it. And then you got Nia Jax. You got Sasha Banks coming out, which I think she should be a heel. She's still not. They haven't turned her. That upsets me. But I am excited about something, and that's Emelina, baby.
Oh God,
I fucking love her.
Oh, get out of here.
No, I'm telling you, she is underrated. Creative has shit all over her. The company has made her pay for stealing iPad cases, 5 years ago, and she was never able to recover. And then she hit, like the recent injury, and now she's back again. Let me tell you something. If she's booked appropriately, she can have such a good program with Charlotte. Those two could draw money. I'm saying it right now.
But they're on different programs.
And that's the problem.
Like, when do you think that's going to happen? Like, what realistically, like,
When
they
it's
need
time to shake things
remerge-
up again.
I don't know.
I don't
man.
know. Like, the talent is so thin. Like, we don't even have singles matches anymore with the women. Just at pay-per-views. That's it. Like,
If
everything else is an 8-women tag match. It's like, it's insulting. It's insulting to them, to us. Like, those women can work. Like, for Christ's sakes, like, Charlotte and Sasha headlined a pay-per-view and were the best match on the card.
Yep.
Prez, side note, did you see the Bailey interview this week?
Yes, it was disgusting. I actually made notes in this.
That was I will say, I think that was the IOI moment of the week.
Explain to our viewers what the IOI moment of the week is.
Oh, viewers, sure. I mean, oftentimes there are several, but if we have to pick one, I think it'd be Bailey this week. The IOI segment of the week is the Insult Our Intelligence segment of the week.
The
IOI segment.
I don't know what they are doing with this Bailey, but it's created just it's just sickening. She's always talking about how she was a young kid and how she wanted to be the WWE champion and all the work that she's put in to get to where she is and this and that and the other, and then the whole hugging thing. Like, I'm not an 8-year-old. When a grown man sees that, it's number one, it's weird. Number two, it's just with a side pony. I don't know what they're trying to do. Like, she's not sexy. She's not coming across like I wouldn't even say like a sexual thing, but it's just I feel like really weird when I look at her. Like, I need to shut off the TV.
Yeah, her character's awful. I mean, my wife doesn't watch the product, and she the other night said, made a comment about Bailey saying, like, this girl, every time I see her on TV, she's talking about how she wanted to be a wrestler when she was a kid.
Yeah.
The same shit.
Yeah,
Bailey, unfortunately, it ran her course in NXT. When she got called up, it just didn't remain. They're trying to keep her with the kid-friendly thing, and that is certainly IOI. One thing that's not IOI is the men's or the WWE Championship Money in the Bank contract ladder match. Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, Baron Corbin, everyone's favorite Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, and Shinsuke Nakamura. Gentlemen, what's going on here?
Well,
Who's going to win?
I listen, and I'll let you guys talk after this. Well, I don't know what the hell Sami Zayn is doing in this match. The guy can't draw money. He never will. I hope he listens to this podcast because he's terrible. He is awful. He doesn't have the look. I don't think that he's good on the mic. He's not aesthetically pleasing to look at. I don't like him. I don't know what
Daniel Bryan have the look?
Daniel Bryan was a hell of a wrestler in the Indies, and he worked his ass off. Zayn is I just don't think that he belongs in the spot yet. I think they need to work on his character. He's just not ready. I don't want to see him in this. I think there's a lot of other folks, a lot of other dudes that belong in that spot than Sami Zayn.
It just doesn't translate. Like, I think you're right with some of that. Like, guys coming up from NXT where they're, in front of 4,500 people or whatever a night, like, can grow a following. People go to see them. And then they try the same old things. Like, they're taught to, like, get over with 4,500. But when you're in a building with 20,000 people and you're only over with 4,500, it's noticeable. Like, it's very noticeable. I think that's his problem. I don't think that, again, like, I agree a little bit. Like, I think he's a good wrestler, but the gimmick, like, hopping around on one leg all the time, pretending he's injured, it's so boring. Like, it's just, talk about insulting your intelligence.
Who do you got in this match, Slick?
I don't know. Like, who can climb ladders in this match? Like, who the hell is going to be able to... I guess I got to take Styles. I think he's the odds-on favorite. I mean, I know Bovetta won't say that he is, but I think Styles can beat every guy in this match. He probably has beat every guy in this match. I don't know why the hell Dolph's in this match. But I'm taking Styles.
Yeah, Dolph's in it for the spots. He'll do something. He'll do some crazy spots.
I mean, I'm willing to say, like, I'm taking, like, Styles should be the winner of this match. I will bet anyone Shop Zone merch. I will make a merch bet with anyone. If you want to take anyone else in this match, no field, but I will let you guys take anyone else if you give me Styles. Somebody's getting Shop Zone merch.
Field.
No, not versus the field. You guys got to take one guy.
All right.
Well, I mean,
and this is what we do here. We're marks. We put our money where our mouth is, and we put it right back in Vince's pocket.
if I was Paul, actually no, if I was Vince, because at the end of the day, it's Vince's show. He's still running it, and I just think he's completely out of touch. So I think he's looking at a guy like Corbin because they've been pushing us down or pushing him down our throats for the past 6 to 8 months. But then you got a guy like Nakamura. I mean, like that. I think Nak is like the face of the blue brand at this point. So I'm gonna take Nak, honestly.
All right, so we're on for a merch bet. You and I. We got a 2-man merch bet here.
Maybe
head to head.
Well, I like Corbin too, but I know you liked Corbin, Prez. So how about we take Corbin out of the equation for this bet?
Yeah, all right, I'm taking Nak.
All right, I'll go with.
And I'm taking the soccer mom haircut.
So we'll get We're gonna say no Corbin. We're gonna just say Corbin's off the table. How about that? I'm gonna go with KO, and I'll make this a triple threat.
All right, I like that.
Kevin Owens.
So the winner gets 2 pieces of merch here.
Do you think we can get like someone to take Dolph or Sami Zayn? Like maybe.
Well, I know Sting will take Sami Zayn. Sting will absolutely. We can make this a fatal 4-way in 2 seconds. Sting will 100% take Sami Zayn. There's no bigger Sami Zayn mark than Sting.
Who's Sting?
Our buddy Sting.
You mean he doesn't deserve, in my opinion, to have
he's kayfabe.
A gimmick. Yeah, he doesn't have a gimmick. His name is Peter. Peter, period. That's it.
So we got Sunday night. We got a triple threat. Winner gets two
pieces of merch. And you can collect these too. I feel like they're credits.
Yeah.
Eventually, one of us wants to win a belt.
Ooh.
Big time.
Belt merch bet. I like that.
Where the big boys play.
Well, I tell you what, since we're talking about championship title belts now, this has been the second Faces and Heels podcast. Tweet us on the Twitter at faces_and_heels.
That's a lot of underscores.
Wait,
hey,
Dowd, are you playing us out?
I'm playing us out of here.
Getting us out of here.
Well, Jesus Christ, I thought we were going to talk about Enzo and Cass.
Enzo and Cass? I don't have time for Enzo and Cass.
You're all going to have to tune in, hit that subscribe button. Episode 3, we're going to get into Enzo and Cass.
And I'm
going to talk about the revival being cartoon characters skulking around the background like a couple of bandits. Episode 3.
So now,
folks.
Episode 3, tune in at faces_and_heels. And as always, wishing every one of our listeners the best of luck in all of their future endeavors.
Go Hogsworth.